Let's take off the overlay and introduce our players. In the 9 o'clock position, ladies and gentlemen, we have our purple Terran player from AT Gaming. It's uThermal. Comes from the Netherlands. Again, he's a WCS Challenger player. He'll be going up against Bly next week, or this coming weekend, in the WCS Challenger League. As he fights for a spot in WCS Premier. He was in WCS Premier 2 seasons in a row last year. I think he went out to he just lost to Todd 1 game to 2 in the decided match of the round of 32, so nearly made it to that round of 16 stage. Of course, if he makes it through Challenger, he will be playing offline this time, so that's if he makes it through Bly in the Challenger League, so be interesting to keep an eye on uThermal. Again, one of these Terran players who's getting pretty good and doing quite well. Of course, a lot of people will make attribute that to just Terran being a little bit OP right now, but well, we will see. Guys, in the lower right hand side of the map, we have our teal Zerg player from Samsung Galaxy. It's Solar. Alright guys, so again, thank you for tuning in. Gonna be an interesting start from Solar, because he opens up with a gas first, followed by a pool, so 14-14 to start things off here in this ZVT for him. And of course, that's not a build we often see using ZVT. You know, ZVT actually very rarely do we see Zergs being very aggressive or playing very differently outside of a hatchery first. And you know, a 14-14 like this would generally suggest he's maybe going to go for some kind of Baneling bust. I mean, to just invest in speed would be a little bit questionable, because what are you going to do with only speed? Well, you know, you're going to have speed very quickly, but all the Terran player has to do is lift up his natural command center. And, you know, he's probably going to have Hellions being made on his main base, and then he just waits for 4 Hellions, he pushes out. And you've kind of, you know, wasted a lot of early economy to not really get too much done. So, you know, we'll see what happens here. uThermal's starting to get some Marines out, and we've got an Overlord coming across the map for Solar. His first Overlord went in the wrong direction. Second Overlord going the right way, of course. And Solar will now know where his opponent is. Sixling's on the way out here. At the same time, this drone's going to come down. He's going to get his hatchery started on the low ground. And the important thing to note is he has just pulled out of gas, so he's only got that first 100 for speed. So again, going to be very interesting to see how he decides to try and use this early on in this game. So, moving across the map here, first 4 Zerglings, of course, a couple more just behind, and a couple more in production too, as an Overlord now starts up for him as well. And with this inject coming in, I wonder if we're just going to see a swell of more Zerglings. Again, it's going to be kind of hard for him to do much here. There wasn't a Reaper opening, which is kind of nice for Solar, but I guess maybe not. I mean, it's kind of 6 and 2 freeze, right? Because if he opens Reaper, you can chase it away a bit earlier, but at the same time, then he comes in, he scouts as well. So okay, and things moving up here. They want to try and block that factory from landing, but they're not quite going to be able to get in there. First Zergling does fall to them 2 Marines, which are sitting behind this wall, and first couple of Hellions on the way out. And this is actually, whoa, where's the command center from uThermal? No command center at all here, and he's starting up a starport already, so uThermal's actually playing something a little bit weird as well. He's going for a 1 base Hellbat build, and this is going to be a little bit interesting here. So 1 base Hellbats against a Zerg player who's opened up with a gas first and a speed and a bit of a later hatchery. It's going to be very interesting, because I mean, yes, Solar's going to have speed, but what else is he going to have to, you know, do anything with, basically? I'm not really too sure. So this is going to be a little bit interesting, as these Zerglings are going to try and come back here, move up this ramp. They're going to see these Hellions are not actually moving down the ramp just yet. He doesn't see a command center, and again, that's quite weird. I mean, already he's not seeing a command center on the low ground is pretty weird. And he did poke a little bit into this main base and didn't see one over here, so there could be one right here, but that would be pretty much the only place it could be. So this is a little bit weird right now. Armory has finished up, and the medevac on the way to drop a couple of these Hellions off. In fact, a couple of Hellions are out on the map right now, and all just moving around. Not too much for them to do just yet, however. And they are just moving around. 6 Hellions now in total. And they're going to start moving across the map here. Again, only just a single medevac. In fact, that's picking up the 5 Marines. So 5 Marines and these Hellions, which will be able to morph into Hellbats. Baneling Nest on the way right now for Solo. His second Spinecrawler coming up as well, and pulling the Queens down to the front. It's going to be 2 Queens, a Spinecrawler, and a handful of Lings to be able to deal with this. 8 more Lings being made right now. So an Overlord's going to go down. That will supply block Solo here, so no further units to be made here for a little while. And these Hellbats are going to be so tanky coming up. This Spinecrawler already taking quite a lot of damage. Nice control by uThermal, picking up one of them damaged Hellbats here. And we have to be a little bit careful. Nice save on another Hellbat, and uThermal pushing forward. He's going to take down Queens, he's going to take down Zerglings, and he's going to do a lot of damage here in game number 1. He is already starting to take down, well, he actually loses his medevac, but he's just going to keep on taking down Zerglings. He's going to take down this Queen as well. At the same time, he's only on 1 base, so I mean, he really does have to do a lot of damage with this. First few Balins are now starting to morph in here as well, and a few more Zerglings going down. Only 3 Hellbats remain, and this Spinecrawler will fall. And we'll actually get cancelled there at the last moment, and these Banelings finish up just in time, and then Baneling Hellbats do go down. So uThermal looked as though he had a good opportunity there, and he did get some damage done. And he has another 6 Hellions ready to move across the map, but with Hellbats, with a Baneling Nest now up, it's going to become a little bit easier here for Solo. Although that being said, he did lose a couple of Queens there. Let's actually have a look how many. He actually lost 3 Queens, and there is Cloak Banshees on the way, so it might be a little bit difficult for him to deal with those. I mean, Spore Crawlers are coming up, but Spore's going to do so much, and right now Spinecrawler actually going to be looking to try and defend the front, but it's going to start getting picked off by a Banshee, and the Queen has to back off. Another Queen has to come in from the main base. And here we go with round number 2. Only a couple of Banelings actually out right now. A couple more Zerglings being made. But uThermal is marching forwards. It looks as though, well, a couple of good Baneling hits to begin with. But this Banshee's going to keep on doing the damage. He's going to pick off this next Baneling just before he morphs in. And again, Solo is in a lot of trouble right now because he just doesn't have any units. More Zerglings being made. But Hellbats just continue to stream forwards here. Queens are going to keep going down as well. And it looks as though uThermal is